Do you even remember her name? No!
How to Bury Your Sins focuses on a future society where grief isn't something people waste time on.
Did you love her?
This lack of emotion in the world was something I wanted to get across quickly to the viewers so they could see the progression of Alice through the film as she gets further and further away from her life in the city. To put this together, I needed to create as realistic as possible sound for viewers to believe what they were seeing on screen. The process that went underway to create all this sound wasn't as organised as I had originally planned. My original plan was to record sounds that weren't easy to recreate and sync from locations such as room tone, gear shifts, digging, car movement, in and outside of the car ambience. Due to the visual department's lack of consideration for the time scheduled for me, I had no time to record on set. This film goes through 4 different locations with 4 very different atmospheres: an emporium, a car, a country road, and a lake in the middle of the woods. Due to the location being very loud with airplanes, boats, wind, etc., a lot of the ambient sound wasn't usable as it would be overpowered due to too much movement. I then went out to recreate these situations and record my own sounds to fill the majority of the film. To edit this all together, I used Adobe Audition, where I used multiple tracks to create the layers of sound to build the scene. Each sound effect needed specific effects edited into it for it to slide in the background of the dialogue to sound as if it was the original piece of audio and had been recorded as live. Due to the complications on set and in editing, I wasn't in control of the audio takes, therefore spent more time in editing to cover up those issues. At the beginning of the film, there are 4 different radio voices that were edited to sound like they were talking on an aged radio.
My mum decided to die this morning. Face landed smack dab in the middle of her scrambled eggs.
They just keep dropping like flies.
Is your commute littered with the dead?
Editing the voices at different sound qualities was what I used to give the viewers the first hint of the mix-match technology that was in this world. Using different accents was a small telling of how this is a worldwide problem. The music selected for this film came from Conor Lockett, a successful composer who has helped work on feature films such as Jurassic World. Working with him, I helped him create a happy, jazzy, upbeat soundtrack for the montage scene at the beginning, to play on the contrast of what was actually happening in the scene. The first soundtrack laying under the voiceovers and then all the way through the montage scene. Another happy soundtrack is used to fade into the car journey, which is abruptly turned off by Venus. This is then followed up by the advert about corpse disposal.
Chopping up the corpses before official disposal has really saved a lot of space.
I added the same FT filter to mess with the pitch that I did the beginning voiceovers for the radio type effect. The second soundtrack is at the end of the film, where Alice begins to understand the merits of emotion and how they aren't a bad thing. This music is in a minor key, classical, with the use of string instruments normally used in sad scenes in movies. I wanted this scene to be impactful, so working with the composer, we made a soundtrack that had a gradual build so that the music could be started at the end of the car scene where Alice is rendered speechless, all the way through to the end of the scene.
Not how it should be, though. Is it?
When reaching the end of the film, we come to a close as the sound is back where it used to be in the Emporium, but this time showing a different emotion surrounding it. I believe this was an effective way of my use of sound. Overall, I'm pleased that a finished product was able to be made for the graduate project. And I guess that's my sound cut.